Hello and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you. By gosh, so far I don't have any guests yet. Lucky, if you're listening, I sent you a link. But anyway, we're out to do a great show for you tonight about what the heck is this? This is the keys to the future. That's what we're doing tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about the keys to the future and how you can get them and what is causing all the changes in your life to become different so that you may change for the future. And what are those keys? Man, everybody's piling in. Hey, Zigzagzilla, we got to get together and do a show. And Nina, yeah, thank you for stopping in. Greetings to you too. Grumpy Stack all the way from Louisiana. I hope your business is going great and much prosperity. Brenda Milky's mom, thank you for coming. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for being here. Grumpy Stack, you got beat up. Who are those thugs? We're going to get the Soul Tribe together and come down there and help you out. The Soul Tribe prospers and we stick together. We won't let those thugs do that to you. Mary Wins is in the house. Thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. Grandpa Brian was going to come on tonight, but he's got some bad storms moving through. He has no internet service. So that's what we got going on. Let's see, Emperor Rex is in the house. So anyway, we are doing this solo for now. And if anybody wants to get on here with me, just let me know and I'll send you a link as fast as I can. So for right now, we're going to do this ourselves. We're going to talk about the world around us a little bit, how it's changing and how we are changing with it. Believe it or not, we are changing inside and out for the most part. And if you haven't noticed that, we are changing slowly but surely. And you might not notice the changes because they happen very gradually. It's like your hair going gray. You know, you find one gray hair and all you older people know that. One falls out, you get another gray hair, you get another one. It slowly starts to turn. And the next thing you know, you got a full head of gray hair and you go, when did that happen? Over a long, slow time. Oh, Grumpy Stack says he got a 75-pound tire and I moved it. Oh, no, geez, 12 times. Gee whiz. Saturian Sun, thank you for coming. And Gaza, glad to hear from you. Gaza, I'd like to know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Like I said, if anybody's coming on and wants to join me tonight, we are guestless for the moment. And if you want to come on and chit chat about something, you're more than welcome. I will send you a link just as soon as you let me know. And Zigzagzilla, yes, we got to get together and do some more shows, health shows. I'm thinking in my head, it's spring. People are thinking about being healthy. I'm thinking about being healthy. I got to get the treadmill out there, pump up the weights. You know, we got to get ourselves going. Anyway, so for the most part, we're going to talk about the changes in the world, the keys to your changes. And why are we changing? First off, okay, and we might as well just start right in. We got everybody coming. Jackie J, thank you for coming. Jackie J is right. Get in the hot tub, soak those muscles. I know after a hard day's work, well, by gosh, there we go. We got somebody joining us. Just you all wait and see. It's a big surprise. Anyway, and there she comes. And anyway, it's going to be a great show tonight. We're going to talk about the keys. Let's see, where did I put that? I marked it in my book. So I'm all set.
If you can hear me, let me just figure this out. Something's going on here. Did we lose Robert? Oh, that's why something was going on.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
I
I
don't
thought
know
it
what
was
happened.
me. I was doing some adjusting on my new camera here and I thought it was me. So good. We're here.
My computer, I found out, has a bump in it. And if I bump it, sometimes it just kind of like shuts down or something. So
Oh,
it's real weird. I'm like, it's been doing that like in the last few weeks here. And, and it's like if I just bump the table or something, I could beat on it and beat on it, nothing happens. But if I like just tap it or something, then all of a sudden, done.
maybe a loose cable or something.
Maybe, but you know how much I know about computers?
Yeah. Takes
It's
time to figure out the issues.
Yeah, well, welcome, Amber, Dawn. Thank you for coming. You haven't been on here in a long while, and since then you've progressed. You started another channel. You're reading cards more. How is life in your neck of the woods?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's nice. The weather's changing and been out working outside and getting seeds planted, and then it snowed a couple times, so there goes those seeds. Got to start over again.
Oh,
But
boy,
it's been good.
Absolutely great. That is so great to hear. I know about the snow. It's Easter and we're in a blizzard, and then we're thinking it's all over, and a week later another blizzard.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, all right, well, do we plant now or wait some more? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. And then we got the last few days we've been hit with rain like you wouldn't believe. This is like drought area. On a normal year, we a little light rain in a day, and that's about all we get. And this week it was like pouring rain all day long and all night long. Everything was flooded.
Wow. Yeah, the weather this year is funky, but that's okay. Whatever.
We'll deal with it. It's the weather. It's the change. That's what I'm thinking. It's the change. And that's what we're all talking about tonight is the keys to the future, the changing, and what is going on with our change. I kind of sent you some stuff I've been copying in this book. We're looking in. This is where I got it from, is the Yahweh book. As Trina would say, this is a pretty powerful book. But anyway, I got a bunch of stuff. I had some stuff copied here too. And I think I sent you some of that. I might share the screen here and we'll go through some of that. And it was talking about, I don't know if I copied the right pages. I started out somewhere along the line. Oh, let me pull this up. Why we're getting at it. I got so many things up. I've been busting my butt on research, a lot of research. I tell you, these shows I've been doing, it's like I have the Indian show with David Null. And so I research during the week on that, which is kind of crazy. And then I research, a little bit on the Giants. And then I research for my show on Saturday. So I am full of, wow,
knowledge.
Yeah, you could say that for sure. Oh my goodness. Let's see. There were so many in here. And I started out, this is what caught my attention. Now, as you would say, and I think you've told me this before, so it has a few others, that you follow the spirit guides inside you, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also outside of me. We're all spirit guides in our own way, right?
That's right. That's right. So, that's how I do these. I pick these subjects and follow these trends I'm on. I just, I look at my collection of books, which is a mess here. And something draws me to one book more than the other, and it just says, you need to look in this book.
Yeah.
This is the book you need to look at. This is this week. This is what you need to talk about. And some way or another, we're going to get you there. And I pick the book up and I'll flip through the pages, and I swear that it just says, my gut says, I don't hear the voices or nothing. Don't worry about that. I'm not crazy. But it just says, hey, my gut is telling me stop here. And sometimes I hit it and sometimes I kind of miss the mark a little bit. But for the most part, I get the gist of it. Is that kind of how it feels for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll always get just almost like a download, of an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of gets me excited. And that's when I know, oh, I should probably focus on it. And it's the same with tarot, like what deck do I choose? It
Mm-hmm.
depends on the feeling I get.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes somebody will say a word to you and then you'll hear it on a YouTube channel or something right after. So that's something you need to pay attention to. So yeah, that's good. Following your intuition.
Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. And that's kind of how I pick out these shows and what I'm going to talk about. Like I've been doing a lot of research on this Atlantis thing. I'd like to have you participate some in that too. I think you'd have great insight. And you're going to say, oh, I don't know anything about Atlantis, but it's not what you know. It's what you're going to intuitively channel, I guess, because I'm trying to pick out the best people I can that could channel this information, because obviously like Lucky Stone, he did some work. Thank you, Lucky. Very good. I appreciate it. But he only gave me tidbits, but what he gave me was very important. It was what I needed to know. And that was Atlantis don't exist anymore. Oh, there he is. Speaking of Lucky, I was like, oh no, nobody's showing up. Lucky's always great. And he says to me, he says, Atlantis is gone. You're not going to find it. And he's right. Nobody has ever found Atlantis. You're not going to just like, oh, look, this is did it call it Atlantis? Well, probably not, but they scattered to the winds. And I think the only way we're ever going to find that is by channeling or memories people have of the past. Were you in an Atlantean at one time? I know you probably got some past lives you've remembered. Maybe I'm not sure, but if can you get that deep back that you could say, yes, I was there, or no, I was on the mainland and there was Atlanteans over there and they were this, and this. You know what I mean? Yeah, one of them cut my head off, kind of thing in a war. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
know I've had dreams of different realms. And like flying cars, I guess, or flying somethings.
Yeah.
And I would have repetitive dreams of this place, but I have never picked up on, being a different race of a being, besides a different ethnicities here on Earth. I know I've been pretty much all of them. So yeah, I haven't dabbled that far. I have a friend who talked to a channeler and she said I was a goddess of the ocean, and she told him all kinds of stuff. And he told me this, but this was years ago, so I can't remember anymore. But so, I mean, I don't know.
Well, but that's the whole point, maybe, if you do come on the show, you do a little of that channeling ahead of time, and really dig deep in it. So you got something to bring to us about that, because that's where we're going to get this information. That's where we're going to get some of this knowledge. And was Atlantis. And then the thing is Atlantis is such a deep memory for so many people, not just one race, but many races. Why is that? And they all didn't call themselves, they didn't refer to as, oh, those were the Atlanteans. They all said it was a race of people that they came from originally, out in the ocean, that the island disappeared or it sank or so forth and so on. But that doesn't mean that they were Atlanteans either. That could have been any thing. But it is kind of odd that they all say the kind of the similar story of that. Maybe it was a past event that happened all at the same time. And I think that was it, because if one island was sinking, there was a big catastrophe that happened and everybody was affected, people on land and the ocean. So like I
always have dreams about the ocean. It's really interesting. It's always on the coast. I don't know which coast, but it's in the ocean is just like frantic and crazy. And there's been times where I jumped in and saved some, animals that were drowning. And it's just like this reoccurring. I'm always driving along the same road, and
Mhm.
it's just always crazy in the ocean, like the waves. And so that's, it's like you have these repetitive dreams and stuff, I think have a lot to do with your memory and stuff. Typically when I channel, it's not before I speak with people, it's during. So sometimes I'll just start talking and I can't stop, and I'm like looking in the corners and everything. And that's because I'm getting like all this information. And half the time I don't remember what I said after. So usually it's during.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I totally agree. And welcome, Lucky Stone. Thank you for coming.
I had to put things together and I was going crazy.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, your Grandpa Brian's having storms. Amber's running late. I don't know if she's going to make. Oh, well, I'm doing it anyway.
Yep, I understand.
So
Yeah.
I'm a trooper. But
Definitely.
thank you for coming. Remember, if the stream goes down, hold the line. But anyway, back to the Atlantis thing and getting the downloads. That's the thing. The downloads are out there. They're all over the place. They're there forever. Oh, what did I do that for? I just shut the wrong thing off. Why
Just
do I
go
do
with
that?
it. Everything happens for a reason. Just cool. It's all cool.
No, I had the thing pulled up and I was gonna shrink it and I hit the X button. Why did I do that? And anyhow, but the deal is that we're all channeling a lot. I think, like you said, you're looking in the corners and when you're daydreaming, that's channeling. And I don't doubt that you had what was it, that thing by the ocean, because literally most people are by the ocean. Even to this day, most people are on the coastlines because that's where the travel is, the food is, the trade is. They're on some kind of water line. It's not the natural state for us to be like living in the desert, for the most part, because there's nothing there. It's hard living. You can't really live. It's like here, I live in North Dakota and everything has to be imported. Really, it does. It has to be trucked in. All the food, everything. They don't really grow a whole lot, but some wheat here, maybe some potatoes and some sugar beets or something. But that's it. Everything has to be hauled in. There's really not much for manufacturing anywhere around here. We produce oil and the oil goes out and we bring stuff in. If the oil would go away, everybody would be like, there's nothing here, and they would all leave. I mean,
which is scary because you have to rely on the weather, being cooperative for the trucks to come in.
Yes.
Because I live in the desert, close to Donner Pass. And a lot of the truck drivers will go over Donner Pass. And when it's blizzarding, those truckers aren't getting over that hill, So.
And then your store shelves are a little bit empty the next day, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I noticed that here too. There'll be a sign on there that said bad weather, no trucks. Then the store shelves are empty and you look around and go, whoa, that's weird. Okay.
You know what usually is left though is vegetables and fruits. So I'm happy with that. I'm like, you can get all the box food you want. I want my veggies and my fruits.
Absolutely.
My potatoes.
Taters. Yeah, and that's important. It very is important. So Lucky, we were talking about you here earlier about the channeling and Atlantis, and I want to thank you for all that you did for the Atlantis show. Being those tidbits that you gave me were very helpful, and so I want to say thanks for that.
Oh, good, because I don't remember what I said. So okay.
Well, that's all right. Whatever you said was the right thing.
Happens quite often, but yeah.
Well. But anyway, tonight we are talking about the keys to the future. And what are our keys to the future? And let's see, I put this up, and so I'm going to screen share. I don't know if this is the right one. Like I was saying, when I got to these things, I flipped through the book, and I realized after I flipped through it that there are a bunch of these chapters that say keys to the future. And we'll start out with this, but I got some stuff in this book here that I was reading, and this explains, I must have hit it good the second time around. And the keys to the future, weights and measures, are given in the light and vibrations. The sacred names, which are weights and measures of our molecular universe, tracing energy into other universes. the function of meta, the wavelength prefix for the knowledge of the next universe, will be extended through wavelengths in the sacred name, Metatron. And then it goes in the keys. No, this is a different one. It's called, well, anyway, this is one I sent you. But anyway, it talks about the energies aligning and focusing of our fields of intelligence with the next universe of a higher intelligence. That must be when, you know, you're getting those downloads. They come from somewhere, right? That is the next universe, a higher intelligence. I suppose they go up from there, because we know there's more than one plane. I think there's 7. Is there 7 or 9? You know?
I have no idea.
I would imagine it's endless.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Okay, endless. Okay,
That's
always
what I
changing
would
rules.
imagine. Yeah.
good answer. Good answer.
Every time I get a message, it's always changes. So I don't think there is an actual set number, because half the time it's information changes when how many levels there are.
Okay, that sounds good. I remember what you said to me once, Lucky, about the what you call it? Oh, there's Grandpa Brian. Anyway, I remember once you said to me that when they talk to you like you're a little kid, because they have to dumb it down. Is that?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So that would mean that the next realm is of a higher intelligence, or they just talk smarter. I would imagine higher intelligence, right?
I think it's just trying to translate things from their point of view to my point of view. It gets complicated. I don't know if it's an higher intelligence, because I thought it was, but I think it's just different intelligence. You know, if you ever talk to like a mathematician or someone who's like expert on math, sometimes, you know, they can't boil an egg, but they can talk you up all math up and down. So if they talk to you about math, sometimes you get, you know, they have to dumb it down for you. But again, on the other side of things is that you have to explain to them how to do simple tasks. So I think the other dimensions are just different. I don't know if I used to think it was highest intelligence, but sometimes I think it's just they don't understand some of the stuff that we understand. And from their point of view, we'll never understand what they understand. So it's a translation area. I don't know if it's intelligence as much as it's just language. Spiritual language is different.
Huh. Well,
I'd love to get a better figure on that, but I really don't have.
I resonate with that.
Yeah, well, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, because we always talk. Hang on, I'm going to stop share for a second on this. See, we always talk about how they're higher intelligence because, you know, we don't understand. They talk differently. But then again, have you ever read a book from the 1800s? Oh my gosh, I've read a bunch of them. And their intelligence in there seems like it's so much higher than ours. The words are different. The wording is poetic as they speak. And now it's like, I swear, when I'm reading something of today's, it's like we're grunting. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, whatever. Oh, and with that, I want to, hey, Grandpa Brian, thank you for coming. How's the thunderstorms there?
Oh, they're still going on. I'm lucky I have service right now.
Yeah, you said no internet. And I'm like,
who knows, I may get dropped here soon.
Okay, well, we'll bear with you.
Yeah.
Kind of catch up a little bit with us, and we'll get to you soon. Oh boy, we got all kinds of people in the house. Linda Brooks is in the house. Julianne, Margaret Scratch, and let's see who else. So we got Libra Moon is in the house. Thank you for coming, and Carrie Bergman. Thank you. All right, back to where we were. We were talking about the keys and what all this means. Oh, here we go. I'm going to share this again. And the intelligence. Modern man has received the word meta from the Greek text. The Greeks tell us that they received it from the gods. And no one knows for sure the manner of which it came. Well, you know, for all sake, I think, you know, is somebody channeling like yourselves, you know, Amber, Lucky, you know, Grandpa Brian, whoever, if you're channeling something, this could be misinterpreted as coming from the gods if you would believe that they are smarter or talk in more intelligently than you do. At least that's my theory anyway. You know, you can correct me if if you think something different than that, wouldn't that be true?
Did you say meta?
Yeah, meta. It says
That's
the word
every,
meta.
but I never thought about this, where this word came from, because that's what Facebook is now. So they stole this
Oh.
word for their own messed up. Oh wow, there's so much into this right now that I never saw this side of things. Yeah.
And this is why my guides told me to choose this. Because we'll figure it all out.
Wow, this is weird.
Yes.
I got
Um,
nothing.
Okay. Yet for the most part, people of this life station do not know the word meta means. The half-life function of the higher forces of energy. Medical linguists, metamathematics, gnosticism, or whatever, all seek out the wisdom of greater evoking universe, and yet all of these meta sciences are nautological and hence limited in the nature that they are not able to bring the reality of the universe energy down into the scientific experiment of material realities. They are all working with epipherical half-lives. Meta is the half-life function of Metatron, who is one of the creator presences of Yahweh, who works with the scientific programming going on in our universe. Boy, is that not so true. Metatron is the creator of the outer light programs of the external universes, and which are created from formless and the void. Wow, you described Facebook, didn't you?
I am stunned by this, because maybe he knew this information, wanted to use that to use for his own benefit, and he ended up in the short run of that, because after that his company showed his stocks and everything. So maybe he didn't pay the right respects to the right deity. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he used this and probably wanted to use it to his benefit, and it turned out to be a negative thing for them. They're still climbing out of it, but
Yeah.
wow. Yeah,
well,
things are weird.
I don't think Facebook's going to go to the side road. It says Metatron's name appears in connection with Enoch, one who initiates into light. In the ancient scrolls, his name also appears with the scriptures of Enoch, where cosmological accounts are given of other life stations of intelligence. There's a story handed down in the hidden mystical scrolls of light, which tell us how the darkness and primordial creation of Metatron brought the Father's plan of creation to the outer worlds of alphabets of life. The cosmic alphabets were the weights and the measures recorded by Enoch. Okay, so with that, I don't know if there's anything good on the next page or not. It goes on and on. This original scrolls, weights and measures, abominations of the earth spread throughout the natural or the nations. Oh boy, that sounds like the internet. This is where I was going with this whole thing, but I guess you brought up something totally new. Scrolls was returned to the Father, be reissued at the end of the consciousness time cycle, when the remnant Adamic race would be put on the body of the Adam Kadam. Now is the time for the weights and measures to return. Well, go figure. Yeah, I'll send you this stuff, Lucky. I got it in a I run these copies off. I'll send them to you.
PDF. Wow, this just bam. I mean, boom. I mean, just this is amazing. I've never thought about this kind of site. Oh wow.
Well, there you go.
I mean, because even that's the other side of things is if Elon Musk sees this and he wants to choose the other side or whatever this meta guy is, what's Elon Musk going to do? Because I mean, Elon Musk is not a good guy. He's portraying the good guy, like, oh, freedom of speech and everything, but he's got his own agenda, and he's just, so maybe all the troublemakers are all actually getting to each other's throats, and maybe that's one of the things. I mean, maybe they want to be, okay, we want to be on the good side because we're screwed. So let's say, and they broke up into little fringe groups. Who knows? Who knows what's going on?
Well, and that's the thing too, is you know, this light, and it's affecting these people. And then the part where you're saying is that they tapped into this. They you know, they're doing their thing, you know, and then now they're controlling us, and we're just the peons, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
In the system, you know, who knows? Maybe they're channelers and we didn't know it. You know, you think they're going to tell us that they're channelers? Heck,
well, I don't think
No.
they're channelers, but I think they hire channelers to do some of their dirty work for them, because I don't think they can do stuff like this. I think that's one of the problems. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
happened. Maybe they did channel. They maybe one of their channels, basically, maybe was it, what's his name for the whatever? Maybe the Facebook guy who was, maybe his channeler got offended by something. Said, "Fine, you do this. Sure, you go," and and didn't complete everything. So,
Mhm.
because I don't think these guys can do that. I think they're so in the negative side of things that I don't think they can. Because a lot of times the work you do, you can't be negative, you can't be positive. You have to be equal in order to get further along. The most equal you are, the further information you can get. It's one side of it, negative, positive. There's always just an aspect of it at a battle, but you don't really need the battle. You can just live an easy, comfortable, peaceful life. The middle path, the Buddhism middle path, it goes in everything, all parts of life.
Well, if you're okay, well, if you're taking the middle path and you're channeling, right? And I know you guys all do this. If you're channeling the middle path, but if you stray off, it's kind of like I'm going to Star Wars now. If you go to the dark side, would you not just channel dark entities just the same as you would light or positive entities?
If you're asking me that, and I'm putting this, yes. How's
I would
that?
say
Yes.
most likely.
Yeah. Did either one of you or any of you ever channel a dark entity?
Yes,
Yes.
I have not.
I
And that-
have.
Amber?
I would say the dark entity was probably me and my own thoughts.
That's the
Okay.
truth.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could have actually invited more negativity to come inside me, but back then I wasn't grounded. I wasn't doing meditations. I wasn't super spiritual yet and stuff. So I possibly could have been getting downloads and I didn't realize it.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, if you're feel like you're channeling bad energy or bad something, you should do what? So what did you do? You did more meditation, more grounding, things that helped you correct and get you on the middle path again, then, right?
Oh yeah, I did therapy. I meditated for hours and hours a day. I did a lot of writing in not journals, but like actually doing like writing to break yourself out of this spell, basically.
Mhm.
I did a lot of work on myself for years and years. So it wasn't just, I'm going to find the middle way. No, I was way too far past the middle way. I had to actually work to get back to neutral. And I didn't realize that neutral was my goal. So I was like getting like super high vibes and everything, and then just crash. I'd go into the real world and encounter people that weren't for assholes. And then it would just send me way back down. And so that's why it's so important to find the middle way so that you're not constantly, tug of warring with your emotions.
Mhm.
That's an awesome example. That's exactly. That's everything what you said is exactly right. And it goes in my head. And that's exactly what, yes.
Yeah.
Because if you're on the negative side and then you want to go to the positive, if you go too far, end up being a pendulum back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in the middle way, like, okay, you can go positive and you can go a little bit negative, live your life, but stay in the middle and it's much more easier to deal with a lot of stuff.
Because it's almost like manic. Like if you go from one polarization to another polarization, that's like a manic episode pretty much. And that's not fun either. Like when you get so excited, I used to have those swings. And when I would get so excited and everything, and I would just, whoa, and then I would just crash, and just be so exhausted. And that's why like a lot of performers who they go and perform on stage and they get this high, but then they end up going home and they end up having to drink or do drugs just to make them feel good again, because you're allowing your emotions to go super high. That's physics. It's going to swing back,
I totally agree with that, because I was an activities director at a dude ranch. And when I was in the limelight, doing my thing, I was the Rocket Man, you know, I was doing my thing. I was a superstar, you know. I'd get out there in front of a crowd. The bigger, the better. The more people, you know, to be in front, you know, I just got braver and braver, and I was a whole different person. But, you know, after, you know, so long, I would crash. There was a part where I felt like Spuds McKenzie, the party dog. You ever see that, Spuds McKenzie? You know, and I'm the woo, you know, but afterwards it's like woohoo.
Right.
I'm tired, but I get out of that crowd and all the energy come right back. It's like woohoo, here I am again.
And that's because we tend to get that energy from outside of ourselves. You know, we're depending on, and so when we don't have that outer source to give it to us anymore, and we don't know how to fill it up ourselves, it depletes us.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I was the best man at so many weddings. And, you know, being the best man, you got to give that speech, you know, afterwards or whatever. And, you know, at first I would be like, I remember at this one wedding, and the best lady, you know, the girl's best lady came up, and she's like, oh, you know, I don't know what to say. You know, I wrote all this stuff down, and you know, she's so nervous, and she's like, what'd you got? What are you going to say? What did you write down? What's your speech going to be about? And I says, I don't know. I'm going to wing it when it comes up. And man, you know, they would look, time for the speech, you know, and I would jump up on a table or a chair and I'd ding the little glass, you know, ding, 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 you know, and I would come up with the best speech ever. And then I get down, I'm like, what did I say? I don't know, everybody's clapping like, wow, that's awesome. I'm thinking, but the adrenaline rush was so great. Like you're talking about, I'm getting this energy from all of these people. And I guess that's
and the acceptance and the applause, you know, the acceptance. It's like, yeah, you know, it is cool. I mean, that's what I had a hard time with in the beginning, and still sometimes do, is like, because my friend would try to explain the middle way to me. But I'm like, so wait, I'm not allowed to be happy. I just have to be blah in the middle. I didn't get it, you know? And he's like, no, it's just, you know, I was trying to explain it. And, it makes a lot more sense to me now. And of course, you can still celebrate and have a good time and be excited, but it's just all about like checking in. And is this coming from my anxiety place? Is this coming from, you know, wanting to be accepted and approval? Or is this just like, because I'm happy? Like it's such a difficult thing to figure out, you know, because we're so used to, oh, we just want to be happy, you know, and if we're not happy, we're totally miserable, but nobody really taught us how to be neutral. So it takes time, you know, I'm still learning.
Well, exactly. Grandpa Brian, you're awful quiet down there. Do you got anything on this? I know you're in the transition right now, because you went from nothingness to all these downloads, lots of information. This must be overwhelming to you.
It is sometimes. That's why I come down here to the cabin, because it allows me to ground, and that helps keep me centered. And
that's how you center. Well,
if
you know,
I have negative thoughts,
that is true.
Yeah. If I have negative thoughts when I'm getting ready to go into a meditation, by the time I get into my deep meditation, not only have I cleared all those thoughts out, any subconscious thoughts I've also cleared out, and just start thinking of nothingness. And that's a real good way to get yourself centered, is once you can clear that subconscious to where there's no thought in your head whatsoever, it's very peaceful.
Nice. That's a good way to look at it. I like that. And you got it. And that I think you pointed out something really good. And I think that happens with all of us. We all have our grounding spot, our place where we like to go when we're feeling down, or we need to feel safe, or like our safe space. Is that not true?
Correct. Oh, yes. Everybody should have a safe space.
Okay, cool. And okay, well, moving on. I got some more stuff. Let's go with this. Okay, and share. Okay, so this goes on. Let's see if I can pick out anything else in here. We got some cool pictures. This is, I don't know where this come from, but this was all in there. The letters compose the sacred names, da 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 da. This is really what I wanted to do. I just didn't feel like this was important so much as some of this other stuff. So I don't think, okay, so we're going to stop that, but I got some better stuff in here. Now I got to get back to this here. Oh, shoot, I don't want to share that. Hang on. How do I do this? Oh, okay. Okay, go on for a second because I got to pull this back up to find out where I wanted to start.
I could vamp for a minute because you
okay,
asked what the negative deity I dealt with.
Oh yeah,
he was created by someone as that's the problem with a lot of negative deities is they're created by human beings, and just the most powerful demons feed off fear and the feed that they're given and generated. So I ran into him, and he became more of a protective device for an area. And rather than getting rid of him, I said, well, you could, rather than attacking people and scaring them, you could be more of a protective and kind of help people find their way and, try to improve things. It was a debate with the thing because it really wanted to just be a pain in the ass more than anything else. Because it really wanted to be fear and aggravate people and, cause, because it just feeds off there. And I'm like, well, you don't have to always feed off fear. You can feed off fear, you can feed off compassion. And of course, they want them to do with compassion, but I let it be for a while. And that's one thing about those things is the more compassion energy you give them, the less they want to be with you, anywhere near you. But it eventually moved on. I don't know where it went, but yeah, I have dealt with them. And they do love their fear and anger and resentment and sadness. They just love it. And
wow.
How did I run into them? Because I was in a bad mood at the time. You just become a target. You're in a negative mood, you attract, especially if you have any higher enlightenment at all. If you're in a bad mood, you're a sweet morsel to them, honestly. So
yeah, I agree, because negativity attracts more negativity.
Absolutely.
It does. I mean, it's like I've been realizing it the last few days that the people that I used to hang out with, like when I lived in Wisconsin, not that they're bad people, but I see myself now looking back and I am like those people. We had same thoughts and, same ideas and we fed off of each other. And what we thought is funny or okay in that area with those people of mine that we're friends. They are friends to this day. When I came out here to North Dakota, I'm finding out that I'm around a different group of people, and that's not okay, which is really odd to me because it was okay before. And my negativity there is it's like a cesspool. Not to say that these are bad people, but you become what you hang around. You want to hang around good people, or you want to be good, hang around good people, positive people. You'll attract their energy.
Truth. Big truth. A lot of people say, I want more spiritual friends. I want more enlightened friends. And I say to them, you have to be comfortable with the people you have around with you, because you attract the people that's your mindset. So if you want more spiritual friends, you got to be a more spiritual person, and they don't want to hear that at all. And that's when I have to say, okay, you're right. I'm sorry. You're very spiritual, and walk away, because you can't have this conversation. They've already had their mindset that they're spiritual and need more spiritual friends. Okay.
Yes.
I want to respond to that.
Oh, good.
So before, I've always been spiritual, but not to the extent of now. Like I didn't work on myself. I was a mess in my early 20s and even most of my 20s, actually. And so I didn't realize that I had extreme anxiety and depression. And I was just going through my whole life, like feeling awful. And it got to the point where I just didn't want to live anymore. I was just sick of being in pain, but of course I wasn't going to do anything crazy. So I I went to the government and I tried to get help through a therapist and everything. Cause, I didn't have health insurance at the time. And so I took a lot of my time, like getting myself into something to get me started. And my therapist, he sat me down and he meditated with me for 10 minutes. And I meditated before in the past, but I had never meditated with anyone else. And it was like, it went by so fast. And I was like, wow, that was really nice, And it was interesting because probably a month before that is really when I started doing the paperwork to get into therapy and stuff. So I was working out at a gym I used to train at, and this really handsome guy across the way was working out with my friend, and we just kind of gave each other the head nod. Hey, what's up? And we ended up becoming very, very close friends. And so a month passes and I go to that therapy appointment with the meditation. And I brought that up to my friend and I was like, yeah, my therapist meditated with me. I really, really enjoyed it. And he's like, yeah, I love meditating. And I was like, you meditate? And he's like, yeah, twice a day. And I was like, what? I had no idea. And then he was like, yeah. And that's what opened up the whole door for him. He started teaching me about Lester Levinson and just all of these really spiritual people. And he's very spiritual. And it was like, I think what happened is I was so desperate and I actually put out the energy to go and find a therapist and try to start changing myself. Like I put out that energy and I ended up meeting somebody who is spiritual and totally helped remind me of my spirituality. So, I think you don't always have to be positive, because I wasn't positive back then. I was a mess, but I was willing, I was willing and I was putting in the work on my own, and it brought somebody into my life who completely helped change my whole entire world. So I think sometimes we got to give people credit when they're really negative, if they want to change. Some people are just negative and you just can't help them. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. So, those people, it's just like, okay, well, maybe in a couple of years, you'll be ready. I'll go this way. You go that way. But then there's some people where they're like, I really, I've been going to doing this. And if they're like, yeah, I took your advice, I'm going to go, I meditated yesterday and I'm going to do it again today, then just try to have compassion, for people who are going through it, because we all have been there. Mm-hmm. So my whole point is spirit's going to attract you the right people into your life when you're ready. And you have to prove it somehow, that you're ready. Read a book or do something. Something's going to shift in your energy and the universe is going to bring in what you need.
Oh, I agree. And, the funny part is, you're talking about being a mess. You seem like so well-rounded and grounded and know where you're going, Amber. And it's hard to imagine you're like, all over the place. But I got to give you kudos. If you straighten yourself out, you did a really good job.
It took a long time, and a lot of work, a lot of tears, a lot of anger. Because when you do the work and you're starting from such a negative space, mm-hmm. It's just going to push up more of that negativity for a while. And so that's part of the process. And that was really difficult for me to deal with because I didn't understand what was going on. It was just, I always tell people, your emotions are like a boiling pot of water with a lid on it. Once you crack that lid open, it's going to come all boiling out. So you have to expect a lot of turmoil for a while when you're down deep, like I was. I turned off my heart chakra. I was sick of everybody, everything. And I was like, I'd never felt love for years. And I had to train myself and teach myself how to love again. So I was just not a happy person, disappointed. People are disappointing sometimes. And I let it get to me. So now I learned I still have to work on it with like, if I haven't been in love for years, but if I was to be in love and then they burned me, then I would probably have a pretty bad reaction to that. But I think I would be able to handle it a lot more smoothly. I'd have the tools to release instead of like just holding it in, So, I mean, I'm not perfect. I still have a temper. People still get on my nerves. But I handle things a lot better.
Mhm.
I don't take it home with me and just dwell and then go back to it the next day even worse. That's what I used to do. I'd just be like
Mhm.
wound up real tight.
There you go. Grandpa Brian, I know that you've been on the show before and you've told me the same thing in a way that you came and you met this group and resonated with them and they helped you out. Is that kind of the thing for you too?
Yeah, well, it all started about 7 years ago when I actually, I called it the cleansing. I started getting rid of friends that were negative around me. And come to find out, they were constantly feeding off my energy. So, yeah, that's when it all started. And then I found Wayne and, started learning a lot more and started becoming more spiritual because I did leave the church. And then somehow, some way, they led me to this lady that led me to all my relations. And that's where I met all them. And then ever since then, it's just been like an explosion in the head.
But now you got new friends, you got a new group that you're associating with, and you're feeding off of their good energy, and you got good energy too, instead of the other way around.
Correct. The other way around, the negative. Oh yes, this group is nothing but about love and light. I mean, you're just beautiful people inside and out. I mean, we have great conversations. There's been a couple times for our conversations, because that's how we usually start our uh, group meetings, is about an hour to an hour and a half conversation on different topics.
Mhm.
And a couple of them got pretty heated, not to where
Mm-hmm.
we were screaming and yelling, but you know, some serious differences in opinions. But when it came time to open up our circle, we forgot all about that and remembered what we had in common, which was more than what our one difference was. And that's what I love about this group. We respect each other's opinion. And once things are said, it's let go and we're back to loving each other.
And that is really important. Really, really important. I see we got Max Vision in the house. He says, I started my journey about the same time as Grandpa Brian. There you go. How about that? See, and this is going to segue. I hate to say it. It's going to segue into what I got next going on. And Truth Seekers in the house. Thank you for coming. Let's see. Chloe is in here visiting us tonight too. Scratch says, I think the secret to everything is 100% a belief. Yeah, that's my problem. I don't believe until I see it, and I do a lot of research. I'm a physical kind of guy. I like to see it in print or feel it in my hands or see it with my eyes, and that holds me back.
Well, you just earlier talked about how you get a feeling and then you go and research it. So you're definitely you have intuition that you follow. So you're still listening to something,
Yeah, you're right. But then I got to see it. I think my intuition knows that I need to get it out of the book. I can't just who is it? Steve Stone. Slightly Sanded Sleuth. Steve, my buddy there in Minnesota. He says, no, I don't read a lot of books. He says, I just get it from the universe. It just comes to me, and I'm like, which is really great, So anyway, this is going to segue into what we were talking about there in a second. And I can't find it. Where did I put it? Oh, crap. There, I did it again. I shrank it and then I unshrank it. Or I canceled it. Why did I do that? Anyway, okay, I got it now. My thing here. And this is what we're going to go into here. Screen share. Now I should have it up. Oh, I had it up. I just didn't see it. Okay. So I was going through the book of this book in the Keys of Knowledge, and it was talking about, this is where what I caught, following my intuition, my gut feeling. Amber, you're right. So then I pulled this book out and I flipped through here, and it says here, a new source of light is now reaching our solar system, interpreting Earth's magnetic field, altering the biological rhythms This is forcing the species to leave behind its old time cell of perception on the physical and emotional, mental, and spiritual levels. This must take place before the species can go into new time cell of consciousness with a unified perception. As the arcs of light begin to change, a different light force is beginning to work with the electromagnetic forces. This is causing the magnetic fields of the brain cavity to be sufficiently raised to a higher mental frequency, allowing man to receive whole light beginnings who will give instruction as to the program of the next level of creation. Okay, and it goes on, and I could read some more, but before we do that, because we're going, time is flying by. Okay, so this is what I want to start out with, and this is the pictures of the brain and the universe. Okay, this is the universe, and this is our brain. You can't even tell which one's which, can you?
Robert, this is so funny. See, here's another synchronicity. So I just released a video yesterday about particles, and a little bit of brainwaves was in there, and I forgot to insert the picture in there. But I was gonna put in, look at how brain neurons look just like outer space or like trees. You know, you'll notice like neural networks between trees and stuff like that. Like it's everywhere. Yes,
it's everywhere. And so here we got these neurons, right? And from what it says, now you remember what it said in the book here. We are waiting for this Earth's magnetic field altering the biological rhythms. Okay, so here this is an illustration, brainwaves in the universe, and it's talking about how, you know, this has been going on for a long time. Okay, and then we go in. Oh, this isn't the right one. Okay. Then, that's still going into about the brain, the neurons, and the universe. 70 billion neurons, billions of galaxies, et cetera, et cetera. You don't even, people, you can't even comprehend how many neurons that you have in your brain. Let's see, where is this? Not wrong one. Okay, here. Now, this is what I came across. And this is waves coming. There's a galactical wave coming to Earth. Now, you know, I want your opinions on this, but the galactical wave is coming to Earth. And as we know, if you watch Suspicious Observers, it's hitting all the planets. And as it hits the planets, it's changing their atmosphere, their rotation, you know, changing things. It's hitting Earth too. It's going to hit Mars. It hits the sun. You know, it's going to do all, and it says here, astronomers are researching this evidence and unusual signals coming from the direction of the Milky Way center. The radio waves fit no current understood pattern of variable radio wave source. It could be suggested new class of stellar objects. Well, what if this is like our brain and the center of the galaxy is having a thought, or it sends out a message of change or a message every now and again, and every planet is affected by it, so it can change too. You see what I'm saying? And here, our solar system resides in the Milky Way galaxy spiral arms, and for the first time, astronomers have realized that we are close to a giant wave-shaped gaseous structure that connects stars and nurseries. The wave, now known as the Radcliffe wave, where the Radcliffe Wave Institute of Advanced Study extends in the crests that are 500 light years both above and below the middle of our galaxy's disk. The long structure stretches for 9,000 light years total and measures 400 light years wide. It is the largest of any kind in our galaxy. It talks about it when it was found, et cetera, right? Well, what if that is like the universe trying to talk to us? That's where I'm trying to get from. There we go. The universe and the human brain are structural lookalikes, study finds. Isn't that weird? Yeah. Okay. That is my. Okay. So what do you say on that? Is that too coincidental? Or you think that has something to do with it? We're going to experience some changes. And it all, you know, so before the galactic wave, this book was written way before the galactic wave was even found or going to come. but yet it's saying a new light source is now reaching our solar system. You see what I'm saying? Like the waves coming. And it's going to change us biologically. It's going to open up our spiritual realms. It's going to take her. This is the thing that's going to take ourselves to the higher level, you know, et cetera, et cetera. What do you all think on that? That's the question. You're awful quiet. This is like new interesting stuff hitting you.
I tend to talk too much, so I always like to stay quiet to let people. So just interject when you're ready to
Okay,
speak.
Lucky, you got a big smile on your face. You got something going on there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, I don't have anything because I have a little tiny person next to me talking to me. Besides that,
And he's saying, that's a bunch of bull. No.
honestly, he's saying is you don't quite understand the whole ramifications of the whole situation, and I don't understand what's going on with this. I know nothing about this intergalactic wave coming our way, and for him, it's just like, yeah, whatever. It's nothing, you know. It's coming, and nothing you can do about it.
Well, I know there's nothing we can do about it. I know, but here's the thing: is this gonna? Maybe he can tell us. Is this possibly going to affect us in a good way if we let it, or is this going to be affecting us in a bad way if we let it?
There's no such thing as good or bad, Robert.
Well, I mean, if we're in that negative energy we've been talking about, would it?
We're not. I think some people choose to have their perspective zoned in on negativity if they choose, and other people choose to enjoy their life and sit in their yard and drink a beer every day, you know, or go on trips, hiking, or whatever. You know, some people choose to watch the news and be always, you know, all the weather sucks, or this or all that, you know. So we're in a beautiful reality, you know. We are changing ages though. So if somebody could remind me, I don't remember if we just got out of the bronze era, but we are going up higher now. We're switching eras, we're switching to Aquarius too. So that could definitely be a part of it. And then the video I did is very much related to this topic about protons, neutrons, electrons, and how there's pulses and waves that are released during this process and stuff. And so that, you know, since spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, is infinite, and it takes like thousands of light years just to get from point A to point B, then a brainwave probably takes just as long, but it's like that for spirit, because spirit, I mean, it's like a blink of an eye for spirit. So maybe it's just this change in its consciousness, and we're starting to experience it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is I know this wave is coming, you know, but how it will affect us. I mean, we can see what effects, I guess the scientists or the astronomers can see what effects it has on other planets, you know, but none of us know what it'll have on a biological, you know, entity. And we, you know, our spiritual body inhabits this biological entity, and, you know, who knows what it'll do with either one or both, because we do know that waves of different sorts will screw up our brains, you know, and make us do wonky things if we want to or not. So, you know,
well, a lot of people are going a little crazy these days. So,
well, and that's kind of my thought. I guess you hit it there. Will this kind of make us crazy? And I've read stuff in the past, you know, history stuff where there ain't too much about it, that something happened and everybody forgot who they were, and they all went kind of a little nuts, and you didn't know who your brother, your mother, your sister were. And this could be, you know, something similar to that. I don't know, just thought.
I feel like whatever happens, let it happen. It doesn't really, we can't control it. It doesn't matter. We're all going to die anyways, and we're going to end up somewhere else, you know? So whatever happens here, it'll happen here, and either we'll experience it or we won't. But then also I think the topic that I saw that you kind of wanted to touch on was how does our reality affect other realities? So that kind of
Yes.
goes in hand too. So if we're not here, we're dead, we're somewhere else, but that's happening here. How is it going to affect us there? You know, so that's a good question. I don't know, but
Yeah, because whatever you do here, I'm sure you take with you to the other side or to the next life or whatever.
your vibration.
Yes, yes. You have the same your personality wouldn't totally change. I believe. You know, if you're a happy-go-lucky person here, you're going to be a happy-go-lucky person on the other side and in the next body that you inhabit.
That's why it's important to die at a high frequency. So try to achieve, you know, as much as you can toward nirvana or peace or freedom as you can before you die, because that's the vibration we're going to be coming back with wherever we end up, you know.
Mm-hmm. Scratch says frequency affects DNA. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Watch a video called Michael Charlage. I'm saying that wrong. Electrical shaping of the biological thunderbolts. It's the proof. Interesting. So, okay. Well, that's good. Well, Grandpa Brian, what do you say to all this? You're soaking it all in.
Yes, I am. It's very interesting. I mean, I know we live in an electric universe, and information passes through electricity like that. I mean, it's almost instantaneous.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in the universe is communicating. It's all a part of source. So why wouldn't whatever is heading our way just be another form of communication?
Just like our cells in our body, they all communicate with each other.
Yes, they do. And through electrical frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Exactly.
How
I
that
definitely believe we're an electric universe.
Yeah. Well, that's and light and electric.
I mean, yeah, how could we not? It's freaking everywhere.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, before we're getting long in the night, but Grandpa Brian, I want you to tell us about the gathering. What is going on with the gathering for those who didn't catch you on Wayne's show the other day? And I know we were having a big gathering at your place at the end of May, and now it is canceled.
Well, not canceled, it has been postponed.
Oh.
A lot of things started happening. You can just tell the energies, things were happening to people that all of a sudden they weren't able to make it. So it was just best to postpone it for a while. Conversed with a couple people and figured August 11th, which is a Thursday at noon, through August 14th, 5 p.m., which is a Sunday. That's 3 months from now. So maybe we can get past everything this community needs to get past and just get rid of all this negative energy that's going on and bring ourselves together for a weekend of just love and joy and peace. And it's going to be fun. I mean, there's activities planned like doing medicine wheels or crystal grids. Probably going to do some drum healing, some Reiki work. We can do meditations. Moving it to August, the water be a little bit warmer because it's naturally spring fed and it's pretty cold right now. But you know, people want to bring bathing suits and swim. Like I said, it's naturally spring. By that time, I should have all my crystals positioned around inside the lake. I'm actually trying to turn it into healing energy water. So it's going to be fun. A lot of good food. I'm sure a lot of good conversations. A lot of love being shared.
Absolutely. It'll be really nice to meet other members of the Soul Tribe that come, you know, too. I mean, all of us know each other, you know, through the internet. I mean, I've met a lot of you people, you know, through emails, through the camera here, but I've only really shaken hands with one guy, and that was Slightly Slanted Sleuth Steve. And
Yep.
I was passing by, I called him up and I says, I'm in your neck of the woods.
Yep. I've met Ken Isby. He's
Yeah.
come to the cabin and hung out with me a couple times. And David Perry that drives with Big Al.
Oh,
He's been to the cabin one time.
wow.
Matter of fact, since he already planned on it, I do believe he's actually going to come up Memorial Weekend, and me and him going to get to hang out again.
All
So that
right.
should be fun.
That is so cool. Somebody broke the icing. Your secret is out. Your secret is out. It's your birthday today, isn't it?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We're hearing
Tomorrow?
about.
Oh,
Yep.
Happy birthday, Grandpa Brian.
yes. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Oh my, we're gonna have to
Thank
sing
you.
happy
Thank you.
birthday
Thank
to
you.
you.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Grandpa
Brian. Happy birthday to you. You can tell we're all singers.
We were
Oh,
all
you
out of
all are
sync.
so awesome. I love you all so much. Thank you. Definitely
You're
made my
welcome.
night.
All right. Yeah. Well, you're going on a moon quest tomorrow, the big full moon. You're going to do a moon ceremony you were talking about, which ought to be interesting. And I do not want to see it. Do not video it. I don't want to know. Just tell us you did it.
I'm a video. Yeah, I'm a video for my personal use, just to see if any entities do come while I'm doing this. How I'm gonna start it is I'm gonna do a crystal circle, and I'll be sitting in the middle of a crystal circle for about 15 minutes meditating, and I'll have dragon's blood going, which is an incense, and frankincense, which dragon blood's for protection, frankincense is concentration. Then after that 15 minutes, I'll write down what I want to release, throw it into the campfire, dance around the fire naked.
See, that's
And
why I
then,
wish I lived
After
somewhere.
about 15 minutes,
I'm sorry, Brian, you go ahead.
yeah. And then after that, I'm gonna probably do a however long meditation. I'm putting on a life jacket, getting into the pond, and I'm gonna float and just meditate as long as I can underneath the full moon. So it should be a pretty enlightening night, getting a lot of information. I'm hoping to actually connect with a lot of feminine energy, Mother Earth and the moon, and help it unlock the feminine side of me so I can keep myself balanced that way between the masculine and the feminine. So that's basically what, to me, the more it's about is trying to connect to the feminine side of me as I'm doing all this.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good. Amber, you were going to say you live in a big city and you want to do it in the park and the pool and
No, I just think that's such a no, that's so beautiful that you have a cabin. And I had a cabin. Well, I didn't have a cabin, but we had one when I was a kid, but I don't anymore. And that's my dream, is just being able to laugh or cry or scream or talk to whatever around the fireplace outside, because I'm a big outdoors person myself, and just be naked if you want, or go on the lake and not be afraid of some weirdo coming and, I envy that. So you're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell the family, call before you come down, because you never know when I'll be naked.
You might get a show that you don't want to see.
Yep.
Yeah. Grumpy Stack says,
Exactly.
he says, can you tell me when you're going to do this? I want to do it with you, only here. Thank goodness, Grumpy Stack. That would be a little bit weird. No, but no, he wants to do the same thing. And I think that's tomorrow night, right?
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
I do believe I'll start around 11 p.m. Eastern. I think that's right around the time of the eclipse is supposed to start
Mm-hmm.
here on the East Coast. So around 11 p.m. tomorrow evening Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mhm.
think the whole ceremony after I'm planning on at least an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I will have some Native American drum music going the whole time that I'm in my meditations and doing my dancing and all that. So it should be pretty interesting. I'm looking
That's
forward to it. It's my first one. So
you're gonna have to come on and tell us all about it, and then what downloads you got or how you felt afterwards, and kind of jot down some notes and record it all. Yeah.
oh yes, most definitely. And if I see anything in the video like of orbs or anything floating around me, I'll make sure to take notes of that. Maybe I can lure me out and we can see the orbs.
Absolutely, that'd be great. That would be great. He says, Grumpy Sack says, okay, so 10 p.m. for me. Yes, that's right. Go ahead. Partial
Yes.
eclipse starts at around 10:27, according to Truth Seeker. Truth Seeker says partial eclipse starts at 10:27 p.m. tomorrow night. Oh, yeah.
What a
Okay.
powerful day to have your birthday on.
Yes.
Oh, I know. It is. Yeah.
Do you know where the moon is
Yeah,
on
it's
your
gonna be
chart?
something. It is in Pisces.
What house?
Um, I have that information somewhere. I just don't have it right here.
Pisces. Interesting. So it's going to be in Pisces.
Hmm.
Well, no, that's the sun, but your moon is in Pisces. So it's definitely going to affect whatever house that's in. Endings, allowing things that when you do that ritual, that's going to be really good for you, I think. It's like, and then,
Yep.
just allowing Pisces to tap into its feminine energy the way you want it to is a good way to like be compassionate and allow things to release, because Pisces is endings, so you're going to be releasing a lot of stuff too.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh yes. And that's
Powerful.
my plan.
That is powerful.
Well, enjoy it.
That is so cool. Well, I wish
Oh,
you the
I
best.
am going to. Thank you.
See, me and Lucky
Thank
have
you. Thank you. Thank you.
me and Lucky have no desire to get naked and dance around the fire.
Liars.
I live in the city also, so that's
Oh,
I have
yeah,
neighbors
yeah.
to my left and my right, and they'd be very, very disturbed by that. On the other hand, yeah, that would not work out well at all for me.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Darn it.
that's I sure hope
Yeah.
that everybody has learned a lot from this and has something to take away with them tonight about their grounding themselves, meditation, what's to come, finding out about themselves, the full moon thing going on with the eclipse, and releasing your energy. So if you're going to release, or not releasing your energy, but releasing, what are you releasing? You're releasing your bad karma or something, your bad mojo.
Yeah.
Resetting, releasing the
whatever you
past
need
and
to.
moving forward.
Okay, good, because I was tongue tied
Yep.
with that. Thank you. Is our eclipses now than 30 years ago? There's Grumpy Sack says there is more eclipses now than 30 years ago. I don't know if that's true, but well, good information.
These past few years, yeah, there's been a lot.
Yeah. There's another one where the moon eclipses, because before it was making this X across the United States. I don't know exactly when that all happens again, but I remember being out here when that last one, the moon eclipsed the sun, and it got really weird looking around here, turned kind of darkish red, and
The vibes were trippy. I was like, wow. I was playing my music bowl and people were looking at me all crazy. And I was like, I don't care. I'm the crazy lady on the mountain right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think the next one is April 2024. I think is what it is.
Okay. I'll put that on the calendar.
What were you going to say, Lucky?
I don't remember.
You need to tell your little friend to stop talking when we're trying to have a conversation. Okay.
Well, you have a tiger behind you. He wants to know where it comes from. So.
Oh, my great grandma.
Yeah, You happy?
I don't know exactly where it came from, who
No,
painted it.
it's because it's your grandmother gave it to you and she's associated with it. Her energy is associated with it or something like that. He says there's someone in it, but that doesn't mean it's
Oh
someone
yeah, my
actually
great
in it.
grandma.
Energy's in there, and he's very big on the little tiger behind you. Yes.
Super cute. I love it too. I'm really glad that it hasn't broken after all these years.
Yeah. Just on
Awesome.
and on about the tiger. That's about it.
Cool.
Maybe
Well,
I'll
you're
stop.
welcome, little person.
Well, there you go.
Spirit guide.
I've been talking a lot about that. Trying to think about all these things. I've been reading this book. I'm going to get with Ryder Lee, and we're going to do a show on schizophrenics.
That should
and-
be interesting.
and that book. I don't know. I think you read it already.
I think
didn't
that's such a fascinating topic.
you? It is.
Because what if people really are not crazy? They're just more aware of what the hell is going on.
Did you ever read that book? It's something about the crystal something and the whatever it was. I can't remember the name of the
Oh
book.
yeah, yeah,
now.
I've read that one.
You
Yeah.
did. Well, maybe you
No,
want to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, you'd love it. It's really cool. The guy researches about the schizophrenics, and it's like you, Lucky. He's realizing that they're hearing voices coming from outside of them.
Mhm.
But apparently, the problem is that they they listen to the voices. It's like you said, if you listen, they don't shut up.
You can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the truth of all. And the problem is the negative ones who the schizophrenics have contact with the lower ones, which will just basically no one listens to them and they like the attention. So the person will do negative things and it makes the negative entities really happy. Like, yes, do it. And then
Yeah.
it goes on and on. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is teaching me and a schizophrenic. Well, my voices tell me nice things. How's that?
There you go.
Or
Yeah.
tell me-
And that's definitely a blessing compared to a
Oh,
lot of
God.
people. Gosh.
I
Well,
know
I-
schizophrenics on and off of medication. They're fun.
Well, Amber, I'll send you the book, and you can read up on it. Maybe you want to be with me and Ryder or talk about it. He's really big on this book. He keeps telling me about how it's great, and he is right. He's right. It's a great book.
I feel like I've heard him talk about it. Is it kind of thin?
Yeah, it's pretty thin. He says
Okay.
he read it in one day.
Yep.
It
I
took
remember
me a
him
week.
talking about it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like
It's-
to read it.
Yeah, we'll get you a copy of it and get you going on that stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna cut this off pretty here because we're going a little long in the tooth, and I want to thank everybody for coming on, and they're all talking about the eclipse and when it's going to end. Somebody said it ends at like 11:59. Totally will be around 11:30. Lasts for about an hour and a half. Lasts for about an hour and a half, Grandpa Brian. So, there you go. You got a lot of information out of that
Yep.
if you didn't know it. And everybody else who's been in here, Jill Jared, a big shout out to Jill Jared. Nina, thank you for coming. Release what no longer serves you, she says. That's right. Release what no longer serves you. Nina said it best. Go buy some Ana Karana stuff. She was having some big sales. I don't know if they're still going, but that was all good. I think her link is in the description below, or I think I put it in there. But if not, well, go to the Crystal Network, order your cards up. They'll be ready in a little while. Big Al and Queen of Quartz, Karen, they were on last week talking about the cards. Going to be a big, powerful deck. I think I got a couple decks ordered. Lucky, you got a deck ordered. Amber,
No, not yet. I will.
not yet. Oh yeah,
I will.
Grandpa Brian, I'm sure you got a deck ordered or thinking about it.
Not yet, but I soon will.
Oh, they're going to be great. According to what they said on that show, they're going to be way more than what I thought they were going to be. Because they keep sending me updates all the time, and they keep getting better and better all the time. So there you go. You got a lot to look forward to. Remember, everybody, thank you for coming first. Amber, thank you for coming on again. It's been a long time. Glad to see you back here at the Soul Tribe on the Milky Way. Lucky, thank you for popping in when I was winging it as I can do. And Grandpa Brian, I hope everything is well for tomorrow, and happy birthday to you. Thank you for coming on, even though the weather and the internet was bad, and enjoy yourself at the cabin. Have a wonderful birthday. You deserve it.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
No problem. And here we got everybody else in the house. Thank you for coming. And with that, remember, everybody, be the frequency you want to receive. I love you all. Go out and enjoy the moon eclipse and release all that does not serve you. Peace, everybody. And then there we go, another show.